Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday morning worship service of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church in Naperville, Illinois. I am Ann Ariano, a member of your Board of Trustees. We are so glad you are here, whether you are present in the sanctuary this morning or joining remotely. It is so good to be together. We welcome you to our church and invite you to get to know us better after the service. To keep us all as safe as possible, we ask that you remain masked. Those of us on the chancel will remove our masks to speak from the microphone. As Unitarian Universalists, we hold that there are many paths to truth and meaning, and we support one another on our spiritual and religious journeys while holding ourselves in covenant through our shared 7 principles. The mission of DuPage UU Church is to gather as an inclusive community to grow in character, mind, and spirit, and to transform the world toward fairness, love, and compassion. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. I invite you to turn to someone you did not come with today and greet them with a wave and a good morning. If you are online, we invite you to connect with each other through the chat. Thank you.
I light this chalice in celebration of the Christmas story and in celebration of every new life announced by every star that has ever shone.
Every Sunday morning this month, we've woven Advent into our worship. Advent comes from the Latin verb advenire, which means to draw near by lighting one or more candle on our Advent wreath each week. We make visible our spirit of waiting, of expectation. The first candle we lit in the name of hope, not just what we long for, but our trust for the best within us to rise, and to grace the many endings and beginnings in our lives. We light the second candle in the name of peace, the courage to soften and to cultivate our ability to stay present in the difficult moments. We light the third candle in the name of joy, the abiding faith that joy unfolds whenever we're able to enter the consent to the practice of opening to possibility. This morning, we light the fourth candle of our Advent wreath in the name of love, as an invitation for the holy to dwell within us, deepening our capacity to love and to be watchful of love's presence among us. May be open to love that awaits us in the weeks to come. As we prepare to bring a new possibility to life, may love guide us and be a creating force in our lives.
Welcome, everyone, to our church for the holiday pageant service. Yay! We are happy to see all of you today. I am Reverend Mandy Huizenga, and I am the minister of this church.
And I am Steve Cooper, the Director of Religious Education for our church. Today, we're going to share the story of the birth of Jesus. We call it the Nativity, from the Gospels of Luke and Matthew. Today, we are not just going to reread the story of the Nativity or retell it, we're going to relive it as we experience what it means to be a people of awe.
You may ask, why do we celebrate the Nativity? Most of us do not believe that Jesus was a deity. Most probably do not believe in angels or the virgin birth. True, but we believe in songs which are born in the hearts and minds of people. We believe that some stories deserve to live forever because of what they tell us of ourselves. The angels singing an anthem of peace and goodwill deserve to be heard forever because they are the angels in human hearts. The humble shepherds who had ears to hear and hearts to receive a message of joy deserve to live till the end of time. The wise people, so faithfully seeking the way of a star, deserve to go in search again each year, for they are the story of our quest for ourselves.
Rather than just hearing or watching the story, we're going to get inside of it and make it our own story as much as possible. This, of course, depends entirely on everyone's goodwill and cooperation. Some of you, we hope, will take part in the story and help us to see and experience this familiar, beloved tale in a new way, as if we were actually present within the story, as if it were happening right here and right now, as if we had never heard this story before.
Although nativity drawings and paintings existed earlier, St. Francis of Assisi celebrated Christmas by setting up the first known three-dimensional nativity scene around the year 1220. He used real animals to create a living scene so that the worshipers could contemplate the birth of Jesus in a direct way, making use of the senses, especially sight and experiencing wonder. He only used a straw-filled feeding trough set between a real ox and donkey. It was beautiful in its simplicity, with the manger acting as the altar for the Christmas Mass.
Our nativity scene will be a bit more elaborate. We're going to read the story, which has been slightly modified, but we will all recognize the familiar characters and the familiar plot of the ancient story. Several times during the story, we will pause and ask for volunteers to play some of the parts in the story. If you wish to be in the story, raise your hand when we ask for volunteers, and we will call on you, and our stage managers will invite you to go over to the costume area in the back, where we have stage crew, Sarah and Teresa, to help you get your costumes on.
No matter whether you come up to the dais or not, everyone is a participant in this service. For witnessing its creation is as vital a part to play as actually playing in it. Steve and I will be narrating the story and pointing to the people who have their hands raised. We'll send you to the costume area. The Youth Religious Education Committee oversees the costumes and will get everybody robed for the right parts. Once costumed, our stage manager, Karen, will help steer you in the right direction for your position in the nativity scene.
The stage manager will help you find the place where you are to go and tell you what to do next. As the story is being read, listen carefully, and you will also hear some directions about what you are to do. So all you must do, volunteers, is listen to the stage manager's directions and to the directions you hear in the story. But don't worry about mistakes. There are no mistakes. It's all part of the story. If there are any little ones that cannot see the stage area, go ahead and situate yourself so that you can. Remember that we want everyone to hear and see the story. And if you need to, you might need to gently remind those around you that we all want to listen and see the story. The story is a beautiful and meaningful one, and we are here to be moved and awed by it once again. But we are here to have fun too. So let the story begin.
bring to you this morning the ancient story of the Nativity, the story of the birth of Jesus. Listen to and watch the story as if for the first time. Imagine that you have never heard it before.
Imagine that this ancient story is really happening right here and right now in our sanctuary.
Imagine that after years and years of hearing stories about women and men bowing down before powerful kings and emperors and dictators and chieftains and tyrants, you finally hear a story in which powerful wise kings and queens and shepherds alike kneel down before one tiny newborn child.
Imagine that after hearing so many stories about terrible wars, about persecutions and ethnic cleansings, you hear the friendly story of a birth, the story of a humble carpenter and his wife, the baby that was born to them in a stable, shepherds in a starlit field who leave their sheep to go and see the newborn child, and the gentle animals who gather round in the stable where the baby lies in a manger.
Imagine that in this story, all the people are longing for peace on earth and goodwill to people everywhere.
Imagine that you're hearing for the first time a story that questions the power of large armies and great wealth.
Imagine that you hear a story that talks about the transforming power of love instead of transforming power of the military.
Imagine, if you can, a day in the future when people will really believe this story, will really believe that love is more powerful than war, that poor, humble people are just as important and just as powerful as the most famous and powerful rulers.
Listen carefully now, because that's the story we are about to hear. Let the story begin.
First, we need the Emperor Caesar. In those days, long, long ago, 2,000 years ago, a decree went out from the Emperor Caesar Augustus saying,
"And all the world should be registered so they can pay taxes to me."
and all the people were required to go to the city or town where they had been born to register. For some people, that meant a long journey.
Joseph, a carpenter, had to go all the way from the town of Nazareth to Galilee in Judea, to the city of David that was called Bethlehem, the same village of Bethlehem that is still there today. Joseph went to be registered with Mary, the woman he was planning to marry. Joseph and Mary had to travel a long way, and they knew it would not be easy because Mary was expecting her child very soon, and she would be very uncomfortable both walking and riding on their donkey. But there was nothing that could be done about it. They had to go. So they started on their journey, traveling day and sometimes through the dark nights, which were lit only by bright stars.
So we need some stars now. Adults or children, we need about 6 people to play stars. Luna, Doug, Robert. I'm going for tall people. Randy, Grace, and 1, 2, 3, 4, Ben. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing the first verse of Song 246, O little town of Bethlehem. And the words are projected.
You may be seated. While Mary and Joseph were in Bethlehem, the time came for Mary to have her baby. But there was no room for them in the inn, which was the only place with comfortable beds. Joseph looked everywhere, but the only place he could find for Mary to give birth to the baby was a stable behind the inn, where there were 2 donkeys, 3 mice, 1 ram, 4 cows, and an ox.
So, we now need 3 mice, 2 donkeys, a ram, 4 cows, and an ox.
Please raise your hand.
I need 3 little mice. B. So you can go over there and get your... Who else wants to be a mouse? Luke? Need a little mouse.
I think we have one right here.
All right. 2 donkeys. Both of you can be donkeys. A ram with curly horn.
You can go right in the back here. Just go around here and go over.
You can be a ram. 4 cows. Justin, do you want to be a cow? Yes. Mary, you can be a cow. I need 1 more cow. Yes. I need an ox. Jenny, you may be the ox. The ox is the one that's known to take care of all the other animals that If you want, you can go sit right over there in front of us.
Good job. Could the travelers make use of this place and sleep with the animals? It would at least give them some cover and protection from the cold wind.
The animals welcomed Mary and Joseph into the stable, and the animals were even kind enough to give up their hay-filled manger so the baby could have a bed. Thus, Mary gave birth to her firstborn child. Mary gave birth to her firstborn child in a simple stable surrounded by animals and wrapped him up in bands of cloth and placed him in the manger. Wow, that's a first.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing song number 243, Jesus Our Brother. The words will be projected.
In that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night. Now we need one large shepherd, 2 small shepherds, and 6 little sheep. You will go to the changing area to be robed.
Russ, you may be the large shepherd. You can be a shepherd. You can be a shepherd back in the corner. And now I need 6 little sheep. We can have big sheep too.
Right back there.
Becky, you may be a sheep. Both of you may be sheep. Mary can be sheep. 2 more sheep. Over there. Yep. Russ, I was actually worried that the tunic would be too long for the large shepherd. Nope. All right. Now, that very night, in an open field, out on a hillside, a mile or so from the town, a few shepherds were standing around a blazing fire. Some were sleeping, while others kept sharp watch of every moving thing on the hillside, lest a wolf sneak up in the dark and climb the wall into the sheepfold.
But it was not a wolf that surprised these shepherds that night. A shining angel suddenly flew down from the sky and lighted on the ground beside them.
We now need 1 big angel and 4 little angels. All right, big angel, little angel, little angel, little angel, little angel. Please stand in body or spirit and join in singing the first 2 verses of hymn 237, the first Noel.
an angel of the Lord stood before the shepherds, and this angel was truly magnificent. And the glory of the Lord shone around the shepherds, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them,
Do not be afraid.
Mike.
Do not be afraid, for I am bringing you news of great joy for all the people. Born this day in the city of David is a Savior. He is the Messiah, the Lord. You will find a child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger.
and suddenly with the angel there was a multitude of angels. Yes. Everyone joined the angels in saying, Glory to God in the highest, heaven and peace on earth, goodwill among all people everywhere. Then the angels left the shepherds and seemed to go right up to the heavens.
Over there. And the shepherds said to one another,
Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this thing that has taken place, which has been made known to us.
Please stand in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 231, Angels We've Heard on High. So the shepherds went quickly to Bethlehem with their sheep, and there they found Mary, Joseph, and the child laying in the manger, just as the angel had said it would be. And when the shepherds saw this, they told everyone what the angel had said to them about this newborn child. And everyone who heard their story was amazed. But Mary kept all these things and treasured them with her heart. And so the shepherds and sheep knelt too around the manger, glorifying and praising God for all the wonders they had heard and seen as it had been told to them.
After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, wise persons who were kings and queens from the far east came to Jerusalem. We need a total of 8 wise persons. Now, this church has a lot of wise people, so I expect to see everybody's hands raised here.
Ellie, Laura, Kat, and Owen, Dima. That's
Four.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That night, as these wise people, were sitting on the roof watching the sky, they saw a new bright star where they had never seen such a star before. They wondered what it meant. What important event just happened somewhere on the earth? And one of them thought a child had been born who was going to be a very great and good man. The wise persons learned from the king about a prophecy which had been spoken long ago, that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem.
Now, we need an awesome volunteer to be our special star.
A special star.
I know you all are special stars, but can someone raise their hand and be a special star? Thank you, Carol.
Carol, you may be our special star. Yep, you can go back there and they'll give it to you. Go back there. Oh, you're leading them, so don't worry about getting in their way. And there, ahead of the wise people,
Carol, come on, this way.
and there, ahead of the wise people, went the star that they had seen when it first appeared in the east. So the wise people set out for Bethlehem.
Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his stars in the sky, and we have come to praise him and bring him gifts.
While our wise people continue their search, please remain seated and join us in singing hymn number 259, "The We Three Kings of Orient Are."
When the wise person saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy and entered into the stable. And there they saw the child with his mother, and they knelt down and brought out gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh, which they had brought with them. Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
Now that we have gathered our whole nativity scene, let us pause for a moment. Look at this awesome scene. It is a special night with stars and angels, and shepherds and wise persons, and the cutest darn mice that I've ever seen, and many, many other animals. And they are a witness to a special birth. No doubt the birth of Jesus over 2,000 years ago in the stable in Bethlehem looked a little different from this. No doubt our sanctuary is a little finer than the small, dirty stable. But the love and mystery and the wonder that we see here is no different from the awe that was there at the time of Jesus' birth. As our complete cast holds their places in this nativity scene, let us celebrate love and wonder of this story by singing together hymn number 245, Joy to the World. Please stand in body or spirit.
I hope you got your pictures. Why don't you go down? Thank you.
Giving of our treasure is how we reciprocate the many gifts that we are given by this community. Your contribution supports the programs and operations of DuPage UU Church. Giving is also how we live our values in the world. Each month, we share our offerings with an organization nominated by the congregation and selected by the special offering team. The special offering team determined that for December, we all of our collection, half of our collection, will go benefit the UUA Disaster Relief Fund. Disasters impact our congregations, and this fund allows the UUA to respond to those in need in congregations across the nation. Your donation to the UUA Disaster Relief Fund allows the UUA to respond flexibly to tragedies that overtake us.
A tradition that has been held at this church for many years is the mitten tree. We start with the bare tree and decorate it with mittens, gloves, scarves, and hats. And these items are then given to children whose families might not be able to afford them otherwise. So at this time, during the offering, we're going to decorate our mitten tree. So if you brought any items to donate, please line up to decorate the tree. And we will decorate our mitten tree and take the offering during the same time. The offering is given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude.
Eleanor, can you hang it right there? There you go. Can we put it the tag here? Like this? Does that work? Yeah. May the candles we light this holiday season remind us of the glowing love within the heart. May the carols we sing uplift our spirits and renew our hope and our vision. May the special moments we spend with family and friends strengthen the bonds of caring between us at this time and throughout the coming year. May it be so. Blessed be.
Please join me in saying the chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish the light of this chalice, but not the light in our hearts. Until we meet again, may the warmth of our community carry you. We have cookie decorating in Creeves Hall for those that would like to decorate, all ages, who would like to decorate Christmas cookies. We also have gluten-free cookies if you need gluten-free. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you.